Hi, my name's Bex, and you are watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi guys, it's Gracie from the Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Bex. How are you?
I'm really good, Gracie. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be talking to you.
Well,
Um,
it's good to be here. You
let's
know
get
what? It's keeping me occupied because it's 2 hours until my single comes out here in the UK, and so I need something to take my time up so that I'm not just
That's
like wandering
perfect.
around like, when's it gonna happen?
I mean, now you're promoting the single, so it works.
Perfect.
Speaking of your music, what made you want to get into music?
Um, I mean, it's a question with a long answer, but basically, when I was like, when you're a kid, you've got like a fantastical daydream occupation, like you want to be an astronaut or like a doctor. I really wanted to be a pop star. Actually, specifically, I wanted to be a member of the British band S Club 7. Um, I don't know if they were ever popular in the States, but if you don't know who S Club 7 are, go and look them up. They were like huge in the late 90s, early noughties. And I wanted to be an S Club. And there was actually a TV show when I was like 7 or 8 where you could, if you were a kid, you could audition to be in S Club Juniors. And I was 1 year too young. And I am forever devastated by that.
That's so sad.
So basically, what I'm doing now is just trying to pursue my dream of being an S Club, but they don't exist anymore.
You can recreate it.
Exactly. That's just what I'm trying to do with everything I'm doing.
um, well, I might know the answer, but what is your favorite musical memory?
Um, that's so hard.
I know,
Um,
putting you right on the spot.
I know. Honestly, right now it's like finishing this song, Hard to Love, and also finishing my next single after Hard to Love, which is called Roll with the Punches. That was the first song that we ever like went into the studio and like properly produced. And when it was finished, I was like, oh, this is what this song sounds like. That's like even better than I thought it was going to be. So like that was a big moment for me, just to like get to hear something that I wrote be like a full produced song.
I mean, can you try and just like had that feel to finally have a piece of your work finally done?
Just real good. I know that's not very descriptive. It just did. It was just
It's
great.
okay.
So, all of the music that I'm putting out like over the next few months is stuff that was written mostly during like lockdowns here, with the exception of one song that was written in February 2020. But everything else that I'm putting out was like written during lockdowns, produced like during lockdowns, like all of the mix and mastering was done remotely. And so like everything that I'm doing is like snatched moments of like joy in between like not having the greatest time. So it's just nice to have been able to turn what has been like kind of a crappy year into something like really positive and that I'm really proud of.
Mm-hmm. What has it been like for you starting out in the music industry? Because I know that it can get competitive sometimes.
Um, do you know what? It's so weird to even think of myself as started out in the music industry because like I have a 9 to 5 job, like all day today I've been working. So it's like I'm like doing my office job from home, obviously because offices aren't open.
Yeah.
Um, and like, yeah, this feels like not quite real yet. Like it's like, oh, this is fun, but it's gonna go away. And it hasn't quite sunk in like that it's actually happening and people are actually invested in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's been very surreal. Maybe it will feel more real like once I'm able to start doing things like I've been talking to like a couple of people who run festivals and stuff. And like so if that goes ahead, like maybe that's when it will start to feel real because right now, like it's all just been happening like in my bedroom. And so it's like, is that happening? Am I doing music really?
I know you talked a bit about this before, but how do you find inspiration for your songs?
Um, Honestly, usually if I get sad about something, I'm like, okay, how can I write this down as a lyric? How can I write this down in a way that is like useful? I journal a lot as well. I find that really useful. And so like I will like flick through my journals and see like what I've written and like what works out of it. Um, that tends to be super helpful. So yeah, it's just like writing down the stuff I'm actually thinking as if it's like a poem or a lyric, and then kind of going from there. And usually it's like my MO is that I like to take sad things that I think and then make them into songs that make me really happy. So it's just a bit of mixing those two things together.
That's amazing. I love that you try and take sad things and make them happy. I feel like that's such a good thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, my taste in music is that I just love a sad banger. So when I started writing songs and was like, okay, I'm actually going to release some of this, it made sense that I would release like my favorite genre.
That does make sense. By the time this interview is out, your debut single, Hard to Love, will be out. How are you
Yeah.
feeling about that?
Um, Super nervous. It's actually already out in Australia and like basically everywhere that's like a little further east than I am. And so I've had some messages of people who've already been able to stream it and they've been super positive. People have been really nice. So that's great. Yeah, I feel like there's always the pressure of like, oh, what if this flops? And also there's the fact that like, so I went viral on TikTok a few weeks ago, as you know, but people who are watching might not know. And I had like a ton of pre-saves on my song that like makes me think that like it could potentially do quite well, but I don't know until tomorrow morning if I've got on any playlists or like what's going on. Like it's kind of there's all of this stuff that's up in the air and like a little bit scary still that I don't really know about.
Hmm. I mean, you've been writing a lot that you told me of. How'd you decide that Hard to Love was going to be your debut single to put out?
I feel like it's very much like a "This Is Me" song. This is me like holding my arms out. This is me. Um, because it's like super retro inspired, which like I feel like anything that I've written recently is going to be because I don't feel inspired by like what's going on around me in 2020. Not like musically, like I think the music that's coming out at the moment is awesome, but like I don't love like this. I don't love the 2020s so far. Like they've not been great. Let's
Anyone
be real.
does.
Like I'm like throwing it back. So this is like very much an 80s throwback. It has two guitar solos. It's got a lot of like high belting. It feels very like Pat Benatar, like a little bit Joan Jett inspired. Like it's yeah, it's very like 80s diva. And so I was like, this is like kind of like it's kind of a weird song in a way. Like it's not something that you expect to hear like coming out of like today's pop music. And it's not something that anyone would ever describe as like mainstream. So I was like, this is very much like this is me, this is like who I am, and this is what to expect. So it just felt like a natural choice.
Yeah. Um,
It's also very danceable. Like if you want to have a boogie to one of my songs, like this is probably like one of your better choices.
yeah. I got to listen to it with the link you sent, and it's so good.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
no problem. Have you seen a difference from when you started writing music and making music to now releasing this? Like, have you seen a change?
Um, yeah, I mean, I write good songs now. And when I first started writing songs, or I would finish a song and I'd be like, well, that sucks. Like immediately. I think that I have quite a discerning musical taste, and so like if I think something sucks, like as immediately, I'm probably gonna think it sucks later. Um, and if I like it immediately, I'm probably gonna like it later. So like when I was first writing songs, I was like, oh, this is kind of terrible. This like I didn't really say that well. Um, but I saved Hard to Love. Like when I started writing songs, like I knew that I wanted to write a song called Hard to Love, and I knew what it was about, and I saved it until I was like, I can do justice to that.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's had three versions, which have all been quite different. This is
Okay.
obviously my final favorite one. Um, but yeah, I think the difference is just that I write good songs now. And also that I kind of know a little bit more what I'm doing. Like I think you kind of go into it, especially because I don't have any real musical training. My degree is in French and German, and it's not like in the US here. Like you don't do a major, but like study everything. Like I literally just studied French and German. Um, yeah, I don't have any real musical training. I did singing lessons when I was younger, but I don't anymore. I play some guitar, but not very well. And so, like, when I was coming into it, I was just like, I'm going to try and write a song. And I didn't really know what I was doing. And now I actually have, like, both by like studying it a little bit in my free time and also just by trial and error, like, worked out actually how do you write a song and like what should I be putting where.
Yeah. Do you have
And
any?
also watching my producer work and being like, what synth noises should I use? I literally take a notepad into production sessions and I sit next to him and I make notes on what he's doing. And then
Really?
I try and copy it at home. And I'm not great at copying it, but I am learning quite a lot.
That's good as long as you're learning.
Yeah.
Do you have any future projects that you could hint at or tell us about?
Yeah, so Hard to Love is out now. That's the first single, and it's from an EP. Um, and it's a EP of sad bangers. Um,
Like,
I haven't decided if it's going to be 4 songs or 5. I have 3 songs where I'm like, yeah, those ones are definitely going on. And then I have 3 more that are like in a rotation and like maybe they'll go on. It's more about they'll probably all get released, but it's more about like what actually fits together and what makes sense together like right now.
yeah.
That's probably going to be all the sad ones. And they're basically all they're also basically all like boppy songs. I like to say bangers, but I don't know if you can self-certify that a song is a banger. But I like to think that they're all bangers. And they're all like lyrically sad, but have this like big euphoric like feeling to the way that the music is written.
Yeah. I kind of have a fun but hard question for you. If
I'm
you could,
ready.
if you could describe yourself and your music in 3 words, what do you think they would be?
I would say sad, upbeat, both. Um, and this is a hyphenated compound word, retro inspired.
Good use.
Yeah,
Do you have a dream collaboration for your future?
I like if I ever like saw Lady Gaga in person, I think I would die. So I don't even want to collaborate with her. I just want her to look at me like one time in the eyes and be like, hey, that would be great. That's a collab, right? Her saying hey and me dying. Um, I also really love what Rina Sawayama is doing right now. Like I feel like I've been like quite heavily influenced by her. She really like kind of the same way I do. She really lays all of her influences on the table and it's like when I was growing up, I listened to new metal. So here's a song that's like new metal.
Yeah.
And then the next song on her album is going to be like Britney Spears inspired. And it's just like awesome that she's unafraid to like genre hop and just be completely herself and like something I really look up to and would love to be able to do one day. Um, I also really love a band from Brighton, which is on the south coast of the UK called Fickle Friends.
Yeah,
Um,
we just interviewed them.
no way. Well, I love Fickle Friends. I actually did a radio interview earlier and I got to pick the track that played before Hard to Love, and I picked Cosmic Coming of Age by Fickle Friends. I love them so much.
Yeah, the owner of the blog, Sarah, she just did an interview with them.
Oh my gosh. I just want to be friends with them so much. Like I
I'm
literally
really
want
good
to be
that happened.
like their songs are like so when I go into the studio I make a playlist every time for my producer of like this is what I think this song sounds like and he's always like you've put some really weird choices on here like the Hard to Love playlist. I can tell you what was on the Hard to Love playlist. That might be fun. It was some Rina Sawayama, some of Miley Cyrus, like the Midnight Sky album,
Okay.
the one with Midnight Sky on it. I can't remember the album title, which is really bad, but I did like that album. Some Dua Lipa, Pat Benatar, Huey Lewis and the News. And then he was like, why is Confident by Demi Lovato on here? Why is Survivor by Destiny's Child on here? And I was
Why
like, because
not?
this makes me feel a little bit dangerous. Like, I want that like vibe where like the sort of music that you would listen to when you were walking to a date.
Mhm.
That vibe, except it's like a very anti-date song.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I want it to feel like aggressive and like sexy. And so I put those songs on and he was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense, but weird. But they're on every single playlist, every single one.
Wow.
I love them. I just want to sound like Fickle Friends.
You know what? We can try and make it happen. We can try and get you guys to collab.
Please. They actually did they've started doing like remixes of other bands. Like they did a remix of Kelly by the Aces, which I really loved. And so Fickle Friends, if you are by any chance watching this, please let me know if you want to remix any of my songs. I actually think that you would sound really good on Roll with the Punches. Okay, thanks, bye.
Just a little promo.
Yeah, just please remix one of my songs or like just let me be your friend. Thanks.
If this happens, do we get credit for the friendship?
Listen, look at this.
Wow.
I have this also came with like signed stuff. I have multiple Fickle Friends t-shirts, which are actually all in the wash because I wear them so much. Um, I'm obsessed. I also literally only have like 20 vinyl because I only started collecting last year, and three of them are by Fickle Friends.
I mean, speaking of other artists, do you have a favorite song at the moment?
Yes, it would be Cosmic Coming of Age by Fickle Friends. I honestly, get me off the subject of how much I love them.
No, we could go on for hours. Like,
They're so
you'll
good.
keep going.
I'll put this on in a bit.
My last question for you. Our website's all about up and coming artists. Do you have anyone that you have your eye on that you would recommend?
No, I actually do definitely have my eye on some people. I really love Foxglove, who is a DIY pop artist based in the Midlands in the UK. She's actually from the West Midlands and I'm from the East Midlands. So like in a way we have a rivalry, but she's very, very good. And she's also very nice. An artist called Christina Hart, who we share a producer. And that's actually how I found him because I listened to her stuff and I was like, wait, who produced this? I want to work with them. Yeah, her stuff is really cool. I really love her song Bad Girlfriend. And there's also a Canadian alt pop artist called Maurice who just released a song called Too Late, which I listen to like literally every day. I found her from TikTok. I really like her.
Those are all good answers, and we'll be
Yeah.
sure to check them out.
Oh, and also, do you know Mimi Webb? She like blew up on TikTok in the UK recently. I don't know if she also blew up in the US, but I think she's really great.
Yeah. TikTok
She
has a
seems
bunch
like a
of
nice
great
girl too.
artists.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
obviously.
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that's also me. Cool. Yeah, I'll have that.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. It was so great talking to you.
Thank you.